Thank you all for coming to the Charlotte post-game press conference. Final score, Charlotte 69, Rice 64. A couple notes coming from this game. Igor Milicic Jr. scored 26 points, which is a career high for him, and it's also the most points scored by a Charlotte 49er this season. Coach, would you like to open with any statements?
I said to the guys in the locker room, they should be extremely proud of themselves for what they've been able to do and how they've played here at home this year. I want to definitely thank the community, the student body and the university, obviously, for their vocal support during home games. And, I think we've brought a little bit of energy and enthusiasm back into the building. And I know we're all very proud of that we've been able to do that, and probably struck some old memories for the old following group that have been around this program for a long time, and that's awesome. I obviously bump into a lot of people, and that's been the general comment to me, has been that, and that's awesome to hear. So I'm really excited about that and what that holds moving forward into the future. Obviously it was a bit of a grindy game tonight against a team that's really tough to defend, and the way that they move and spread you out and have a big guy that's, an elite passer. But the guys played really tough tonight, did a great job on the glass, and, made the plays down the stretch that we needed to make.
Igor, we'll start with you first. Congrats on the win. I want to ask, that obviously senior night was Saturday, but final game in Halton. How much did you guys want this for both Jackson, Braz, and then the team just to get back on track?
I mean, we focused on them on senior night, so we were the focus to play for Jackson and for Rob was on senior night. Tonight we just wanted to end the season in here, on a good note. We had to win. We were focused on winning, and I feel like we did a pretty good job of executing what the coaches told us. Of course, we had moments where we didn't, but I feel like we did a pretty good job, and yeah.
Coach, with Lukai Patterson and Nick Graves both having foul trouble, what did you see from the rest of the team as they step up in their roles for them?
Yeah, it obviously puts a lot of pressure on the team when you have key players get in those positions, and it's kind of happened recently, and that makes it tough, like it would for anybody. But obviously Igor had a great game tonight. I thought he played with fantastic poise, probably the most poised game I've seen him play in a Charlotte uniform, and that's a big part of his growth, and we've obviously been talking about that, and so that was awesome to see and needed. It was needed tonight. DJ battled really hard. I thought that was one of his better games, and the effort that he played with. I thought we got out in transition in the first half, and I want them to play that way. Like, I want them to defend really hard and rebound and be tough at that end of the floor, but then I want them to express themselves and go have some fun in transition. That's their reward for the effort that we ask as a staff from them at the defensive end, and they were able to do that. Now, obviously, we got a little foul trouble, so it was harder to do that in the second half because you just don't have enough bodies to keep turning over. But Jax was great. Rob had to be there. Dean was awesome. Those guys had to come in and play big roles off the bench, and they did what they had to do tonight to get us across the line.
Hey guys, I'm Shane Connick from the Charlotte Observer. Igor, to be on this team, obviously now getting toward the end of the season, what's jumped out to you kind of most about being able to play with these guys here in Charlotte, and what's kind of gone into all the success that you've been having, especially in a career performance tonight?
I love my teammates. We hang out with each other off the court all the time. We try to play for each other on the court. And today it was obvious. We were making extra passes. We were driving and kicking to open guys. And it's definitely amazing to play that way. And we really just enjoy being with each other. That's it. I don't know what else to say.
For Coach and Igor, just what does a win like this, obviously getting off a losing skid, do for momentum going into the season finale against East Carolina, and then conference tournament right around the corner?
Well, it would be a lot nicer to win than not be winning at this time of the year. It's been tough 3 games, and we've been very frustrated, but there's probably only one team in our league that really hasn't gone through it. You know what I mean? Everyone's gone through some really tough patches, and we've just, we're going through ours. We still are. So it's challenging, but it's a growth moment. I said to the guys before the game, I said, I like these situations. I guess it's a weird way to think, but, to be in an adverse situation and being in very you're challenged right now. You're challenged mentally and physically and emotionally, and you just feel like, you guys are working hard and we just can't kind of get things right and whatever that may be. And, you just got to fight through it. And tonight we had to do that, and we did that. We did fight, and it wasn't pretty. Like, it was a grindy game, and, it was tough for both sides. But, we played hard enough in patches to get a little bit of a lead and, be able to make the plays, like I said, down the stretch. But, yeah, proud of the effort, and that's the big thing that we've talked about all year, is never questioning the effort. We can always talk about execution and those types of things. At times we're not great, but, when the effort's there, you can normally just hang around, and then hopefully you can, do some things at the end of games, which we've done a number of times this year.
Coach, what are some of the best parts of Igor's game? Be getting to work with him every day, and especially now as the team starts to get toward postseason play. How just valuable is it to have a guy with his skills on this team?
Yeah, and it's a good question. He's developed a heck of a lot since he's been here. He's had an opportunity to grow through some mistakes, and but I'll tell you this: he works extremely hard. Like, his dedication and effort in the summer just to get ready for his national team was awesome. Like, he got it. Like, I've been around national programs and what it takes to play for your country. You can't just show up and think you're going to perform. Like, you have to be extremely fit. Those campaigns are difficult as all heck. I don't know how many practices and games you had in that patch, 13 games or 14 games or something in the summer. You're trying to mentally, emotionally, you're battling for the opportunity to go to Olympic Games. You go through a tournament. Like, and he's playing with some older, very well experienced veteran pros that are probably looking at this young guy and a coach's son and going, this is coach's son here. Like, and he had to deal with that. His dedication to commit to that, but also come back and be with us, and then go back and be part with the national program, and then obviously his growth this year and has been awesome to see. But it's a credit to him. Like, he's worked for it. He's put in the work. He's trusted his work. He always believes himself. He's very, very confident, and to see the success is awesome to see, because he deserves it, because he's really put in the work. And if he keeps that mentality, and like I've said, you never arrive. You never arrive as a team and as an individual, and you just got to keep working and wanting to get better. And if he keeps that, then he'll just keep growing and improving and have a fantastic career.
Coach, I want to ask, Lakai Patterson has dealt with some foul trouble the past couple games. What are you saying to him as a coach to kind of keep his confidence level up, knowing that obviously these weren't some of his best performances?
He's a pretty confident guy. He's obviously a little frustrated with it, but when you're one of the team's better players, teams go at you and want to try and get you out of the game, and just the habits of every day are really important, and the discipline required, and because we need him. We struggled some tonight without his ability to go out there and put some points on the board and make some plays and take pressure off people. But sometimes you have those nights, and he had one of them tonight, and as a lot of them have gone through that. But just work. There's no magic formula to me. It's just get back on the floor and put in the hard work and then come out and perform. And as I've said many times, there's an expectation for him to perform and for us to perform, and there's pressure there. And when you're young and growing and going through this stuff, that's what you learn. I've seen it at the higher level too. In the pro game, it's the same thing. And you go through some tough patches and tough games, and it's how you respond to it.
Igor, I want to ask, any semblance in the pink kicks or just your favorites?
Just my favorites. That's it.
I want to ask you, I've never taken a clutch free throw, so tell me, you're at the free throw line at the end of the game. What's going through your mind? Are you just trying to block out the noise knowing you have to put 2 in, or what's going through your mind at that point?
I know I'm good at free throws. That's, no, nothing's different between the first free throw in the game in the first quarter and the last one. I'm just trying to make it, and of course I'm trying to block out the noise, block out everything what I'm thinking about, just focus on the rim and the ball and try and put the ball in the rim. That's about it.
Coach, rebounding had been problems coming into this game, but tonight you had a plus 10 advantage. What went into that? You had 14 offensive rebounds. How did that play into this game?
Do you want to answer that?
Coaches were on our asses about it.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think like rebounding is a mentality and a toughness thing, right? Like it's a battle. It's just a me versus you, and he's trying to hit me, and I'm trying to hit him, and I'm trying to keep him off the glass. Like that's the battle, right? And it's 5 guys trying to block out, and it's physical, and teams are starting to attack offensive glass a lot more than what they have in the past. So you're going to get more of those opportunities. So your toughness as an individual and as a team gets exposed in those situations. We have been very frustrated with it because it puts you behind if we can't create turnovers and we can't keep them off the glass, and they end up having 6 to 10 extra possessions that we have to defend, it puts you under tremendous pressure. Like, because of those 10 extra possessions, for example, they're at minimum going to make 40% of them, right? And, so there's 8+ points just right there. And if we're not equaling or bettering that, then we're under the pump right away. We might as well start the game down 8-zip, then that makes it really difficult. So you have to really go into games and battle in that department, and you're going to be sore the next day with it. It just is what it is. That's why they play, but it's, we talk about it, we drill it, it just, I don't know what more we can do. We either just have to get it done or we don't. And so, tonight was a much better effort, and I need to do the same thing Saturday.
And one more thing, Igor, about when you were training last summer for the national team, what are kind of the biggest things that you learned, from that, and how you've, really tried to implement that, as you've, continued this career here in Charlotte?
I mean, when I was here, I was just trying to get my fitness up because after the season, we're not playing, we can't run that much, and practices are shorter. So when we were having condition practice, I was pushing myself to the limit. Then when I got there, I was trying to pick up on the mentality that the older guys have, more experience, play EuroLeague, play in different leagues in Europe. And I'm trying to see what they're doing before practice, how they approach practice, what they do after practice, if they're getting treatment, if they're, talking about whatever movies, or are they just locked in on what are we going to do on the basketball court. And that was the biggest difference. I feel like I learned a lot, and that really got me to be a better player this year.
Yeah, and I would say that those habits he's brought back here are very evident. He understands it every day, and every rep is really, really important. He's been sensational with that all year, like every day. He brings it and is locked into it, and that helps you grow. That's why you have consistent success. You may not have elite success every game, but you have consistent over a course of a year, and he's displayed that through his effort, and awesome to see.
Coach, I want to ask you a question about Zay Folks. Obviously, with Nick and Lakai dealing with some foul trouble tonight, he had to step into kind of that primary ball handler role. With Zay, he's only taken 7 threes this year. We've seen teams defending him some different ways. What do you need to see from Zay down the stretch this season? Like, as far as his junior year, you've been with him the whole time, first year as head man. What do you need to see from Zay as the season comes to a close?
I need him to defend. We need him to defend, not I. We need him to defend at an elite level. and take those challenges on, and they're really difficult. Like I know that, and he's going to fail and have some success, but it's difficult. It's really difficult to defend the other team's better players, and he has to understand personnel. He needs to understand the scout. He needs to understand the plays that they run for different players, and he needs to hold that down. He needs to rebound for us. When he rebounds well for us, we generally get put in pretty good positions to win games. Offensively, he's not a shooter. That's what he is. Like, that's okay. There's some guys that can really shoot and can't do anything else. Like, it's just the other side of it. So, but he needs to come down and move the ball and get guys shots. And he's got much better at running himself into the post and playing out of the post game and run our team. Run our team like he had to tonight as the point guard for the most part, because the other two were out. But nothing dramatic's going to change at this time of the year. He is what he is, but there's definitely the pressure to perform, as I talked about, to defend for us. And look, I expect it from all of them, but he has the size and athleticism and strength to keep in front of the ball.
Thank you all for coming out. That concludes tonight's press conference.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your year.